What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing some OME 906 rear springs on my 3rd gen 4Runner. You can't really see it too bad here because it's on a downhill driveway here, but I'm having some issues with the rear end sagging whenever I load up my camping gear and my bike on the back and whatnot. So I got these springs to help lift the rear. Even on flat ground with nothing in the back, it is squatting a little bit. So today we're going to be installing the OME 906 rear springs, which are for OEM to medium loading in the rear, and they say 2-inch lift, but from what I see, it looks pretty close to what I would think OEM should look like. So I'm going to be just installing these. I'm not touching the front, and then once these settle for a little bit, I'll see if it looks uneven, and if it looks uneven, I'll probably add like a small spacer lift in the front, maybe just like 1/2 inch or 1 inch, just to even it out. But I just did new shocks, and I did do a spacer lift in the rear to try to fix the squat, but it really doesn't help. So the car has fairly new Bilstein 4600s under there, I'm not going to be messing with the shocks or anything, just the springs in this video, and I'll show you what the height looks like, and I'll also load up my bike in the rear to see if that changes much of the height. But I'm going to go ahead and get it jacked up and get the wheels taken off, and I'll get the rear pretty much as high as it can go on my jack stand so I have room to pull the axle down and get those springs in and out. And then also while I'm in there, I'm going to grease up the shock bushings because I did not do that correctly the first time around. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff off so we can look in there and see what we're looking at. Also, I just made some 3D printed parts for my 4Runner. I have these knobs here, which I 3D printed, and they go on the rear cover back here, because you can see these OEM ones start like disintegrating over time. So I 3D printed some nice black ones here that I'm going to be replacing those with. And then I also got I 3D printed some of the cup holder pieces back here because I am missing one side, so I'm going to throw these in as well in this video, just so they're both black and matching, and it actually has both sides. So swapping out the springs is really just about as easy as can be. I jacked it up by the diff, then put my good old Harbor Freight jack stands that I got for Black Friday, super cheap, right there on the frame. I kind of had to kick them under there to get them to fit, but since I have a low profile jack, but they work. They're in there at the highest setting. And then while you still got the axle jacked up, you'll want to take the end links off, just a 12mm bolt that goes in there. And I just took them off real quick with a ratcheting box wrench real quick. Got that taken out, and then after you do that, I just put a 15mm on my impact here, and you'll zap out the shock bolt here, and then you'll have these bushings in there with this washer facing this way on the other side of this little shaft right there. And then I just used a pry bar to pry the shock against the axle here, pried it off, and then did the exact same thing on the other side. And then you just take the jack out from underneath and the axle will fall. And make sure that this hole in the shock doesn't get caught in here, otherwise it won't fall down. You gotta make sure it's out. I accidentally got it caught in there, and I was like, why isn't the spring coming out? It's because it was caught and wasn't letting it go all the way low. But once it got all the way low like this, I got the old spring out super easily. It literally just fell out. But you can see the old one compared to the OME one, it's a little bit thinner, as would be expected. This is a linear spring. This is a progressive spring. You can tell because the rings get denser here, so they're a little stiffer here, so it kind of like, that's better for the load and whatnot. And then since I had a spacer lift, that's what this is here, the springs go in like this, and then the spacer lift goes on top of it. But you'll take your spring isolator, make sure you put this back on top of this OME spring when you put it in there, And then also, here's one thing that people miss because there's literally no instructions in the box. There is a left and right spring on these OME rear springs. They will have some printing on them. You can see it's kind of wiped off, but it did say B right there. And then I've already put the driver's side one in. You can see it's already in. I can't twist it, but it said A on it. And if you don't have your markings, put them up next to each other on flat level ground, and you will see that the A spring should be just like that much higher than the B spring. And that is to account for the fuel tank being on the left side of the car. And that's why a lot of 4Runners lean towards the driver's side a little bit. So the OME spring for the left is a little bit taller to help counteract that and make it even. So since these springs aren't that tall, it's only a 2-inch lift, they pop in super easy. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these back in. Then I'll just, once they're in place, lift the axle up with the jack until I can get the shock in just how it came out. And then after that, while it's still jacked up, I will just lift the sway bar up like that and bolt these back in, and make sure you have the correct order. This washer here will go like that, and then you'll put it in the hole. And then once it's in the hole, you'll take your bushing with the washer on top and the nut, just like that, and put it in there. You might want to go ahead and grease these so they don't make any noise. And then when you put in these shock bushings, make sure that you put grease on these. I didn't at first. That is going to prematurely wear out your bushings and also might cause some noise. So I'm just going to slather these in grease, put some grease on this shaft here, bolt it all together, and it should be good. And then once I have it all back together, I'll put the wheels back on and we'll do a little height test. I didn't measure the height, which I meant to do. That's my bad. But oh well. This is the grease I'm using. It's just a synthetic grease I grabbed at Harbor Freight just because it worked. There's better stuff you can buy, but this works and it's safe for lots of different types of bushings. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all buttoned back up, and then we'll see how it looks. So here they are all installed. One thing to note is when you're putting in the bottom bolt of the shock, that one right there, wait until the car is on the ground and settled before you tighten it, because you don't want to tighten it and then lower the car, and then as the car is lowering, the shock twists and it twists the bushing, and then you're going to prematurely wear out your bushings. So I just have those in loosely, and now I'm going to go in and torque them down. But aside from that, everything is in, and I'm actually pretty happy with the look. It's slightly higher, but I think it's the perfect amount, because you can see it sits even with the ground now. Like the rocker panel here is like perfectly parallel with the ground, which is what I was going for. The rear wheel well sits higher than the front one from OEM, so that's how I think it's supposed to look. I'm pretty sure the previous owner might have put some taller springs in the front, like the 99 4Runner taller springs, so I think it evens out perfectly, and I'm not going to need to add anything to the front, especially if I have the rear loaded down, sort of look even. But yeah, that's a good look of what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, we'll see. I think it'll definitely help with the fuel tank lean, which I just lowered the car, so you're not going to be able to tell until it settles, but that should help with it. These are definitely a little stiffer, so I think it will ride better as well. But yeah, I mean, this side it looks a little taller in the rear than the other side, but it hasn't been driven around and had time to settle and whatnot, so I'll go torque it down and take it for a test drive. But that's pretty much it for this video. It's my birthday today, and coincidentally enough, I just hit 10,000 subscribers today, and I got these springs for my birthday. Funny enough, because after I went camping a few times, I realized that the little budget lift I put in there didn't work, so this turned out to be perfect. Good day overall. Happy with how it looks. Hopefully it performs better as well. I've seen people who tow on these springs, so I bet I will be fine. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I will be trying to make more videos on this car as well as my Focus ST for a while, trying to up the quality of the channel. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so I really need to be putting more work into it. So, you know, I want to make more videos with this car. I've been doing a lot of maintenance to it, but I haven't been recording that. But any mods or anything I do, I'll make videos on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't remember if I said it or not, but if I didn't, go follow me on Instagram at Nickjoenap, same as my channel name, and I'll see you in the next video.